Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is GEREL MATTA. Today we're going to be doing a declutter video. As you can see, I have nothing on my face. We're not going to be doing a tutorial today. It's just going to be decluttering my concealer drawer. It's not that big, so it shouldn't really take that long. And I'm also going to try to declutter my primer, which is like my favorite drawer because I don't know, I just like primers a lot actually, and as well as concealers. It's really hard for me to let go of any makeup products, like you have no idea, but today we're going to see if we can let go of some of them just because either I'm not using it, it's not of my liking, it's not of my preference, so whatever the reason is, we're going to go through every single item. Like I said, I do not have a big collection for concealer. I do not have a whole entire drawer. It's just a little tiny drawer, but a lot of concealers fit in there. So yeah, I'm really attached to all of my makeup products just because I have built this collection myself, and it's taken me a long time. But if I'm not using it, I also don't want to keep it. I'd rather just share it. Of course, if they are still good products, I'm going to share them and pass them along. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. You can also click on the little bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is every single week. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. So these three concealers over here, I had them up here, and this one was in my foundation drawer just because it is so big. This one is the Too Faced Worn This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. So I do have all of these concealers, and this one is my primer. So let's start with the concealers. I'm going to put them, all of them, right here on the table just so I can see what I'm going to keep or not. Alright, so here are all of the concealers. You wouldn't think that this little drawer holds that many, but it does. Alright, let me just start grabbing because otherwise I'm not going to start ever. Alright, so the first one is this one, and this one is the LA Pro Conceal, and I'm going to keep this one. This one is in the shade Toast, just because I don't have anything to contour with that is a drugstore. I'm still gonna give this one more chance and see how it actually performs, so I will be keeping this one. This one right here is the Master Conceal by Maybelline, and I do have the shade in light medium. This one is a little bit light, but I do make it work, so I am going to be keeping this one right here for sure. So I am going to be keeping these two concealers by Huda Beauty. These two right here are amazing. I love them very much, but I kind of forgot about them because I just purchased new concealers, but I really do love these two right here. I have them on the shade. This one is Granola and this one is Cotton Candy. Cotton Candy is a little bit too light for me, but mixed together it's like super perfect. So the next two concealers are the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealers, and I'm going to be getting rid of these two right here just because they were not to my liking. They're really light coverage. You have to build them up, and they are very like a little tacky for me, for my liking. So this two right here did not work for me at all. So another concealer that I'm not going to be keeping is this one by Urban Decay, and this one is the Naked Skin Concealer. This one is in the shade Light and Neutral, super light. As you can see, extremely light for my skin tone, so I'm going to just get rid of that one. So these two concealers by Laura Geller I am going to be keeping. However, I'm just going to keep them just to finish them up. I do have backups of this ones from an event that I went, and I'm going to give those concealers actually away because I know these are not my favorite concealers. They do a really nice job on covering. You do have to build it up a little bit. Once again, it's not like a really full coverage concealer. Is really nice and natural for kind of every day, and that's what I use this for. So I decided that I'm going to actually give this one away because I don't see myself using or reaching for this one for sure. Like, I'm talking to myself right now and I know for sure I'm not going to be reaching out for this one, so this one is gonna go. So I do have a two MAC Prep and Primes concealer. These ones are super light, but I love them so much, especially for just to put on top of concealer. just to give it a little bit of more brightness under the eyes, especially when you're doing a smoky eye. So I do use these ones, and not as much as I used to, because I used to use them so much, but I still use these ones, especially when I do smoky eye. These ones are definitely being used. I do have the shade, so I do have the shade in Radiant Rose and Light Boost, and these two I'm definitely keeping. So I found another one from the Prep and Prime by MAC, and I found it in Bright Forecast. I'm going to get rid of the Radiant Rose, and I'm going to be keeping the Bright Forecast. So I do have two of the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I'm going to keep this one. This one is the newer one. This one is in the shade medium, and this one right here is way too bright. Like, as you can see, it's way too bright, and it just looks super crazy underneath my eyes. So I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to be keeping this one. Another Maybelline concealer. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me. It's an everyday, super perfect for everyday concealer. It is in the shade medium, and I am going to keep it in this one right here. And I love the coverage that it gives you. It's really nice, super like hydrating underneath the eyes, and it's a really good one from the drugstore. All right, this palette from Makeup Forever I'm definitely keeping. This is something that I use all the time, especially for that shade and also for this one. So I am going to be keeping this little palette. I am also going to be keeping my NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer, and this one is in the shade Ginger. It is super perfect. I use it all the time. I cannot wait to hit pan on it because I do use it a lot, and it's just really nice and perfect for my skin tone. This one right here, you already know what it is. It is the Tarte Shade Tape Concealer. I do have the shade in Tan. This one is in Tan? Yeah. I do have the shade in Tan, Light, Medium, and Medium, and I love Medium, and I do like Tan, especially during the summertime. I just bought it like the end of the summer, so it should be working okay for this summer. The Light Medium, it's a little bit too light, but I'm still gonna keep it just in case I actually need it, either for like to cut my crease and stuff like that, because I love this concealer for that. And the medium shade is actually already too old. I have been using this one for a very long time. I already bought a backup, so this one I am definitely going to get rid of, but I do have a backup of this one because it is that amazing. So I am going to keep the Tan and Light Medium, and I'm going to get rid of the medium because I have a backup. And the next concealer that I have here is by Milk Makeup, and this one is in the shade Medium. This concealer is so amazing. The packaging though, the packaging, so messy, so messy. And I cannot wait to actually use this up, and I'm never going to buy it unless they actually change the packaging, because even though this concealer is so great, especially for like everyday super lightweight concealer, but it does give you a really nice coverage, the packaging is so messy that it really like makes me not want to use this again. But I will continue using it because I like it, and I have it. Once I run out of this one, I will not purchase it again until they actually change the packaging on it. So yeah, there you go. So the next two concealers that I have is by L'Oreal. I did a whole review on the foundation and concealer, so just in case you actually missed that video, I will link it somewhere on the screen. But this concealer, it is so good to me. It is not too drying. It is definitely a matte concealer, but it's not too drying for me, for my liking. It does give me a really nice coverage, and I have zero complaints. I do have the shade in 385 and 370, and this two combined together is a perfect shade for me. Just using the 385 is also good for me, but when I combine these two together, it gives me like that little brightness that I like as well, not too much. So I do love these two concealers, so I'm definitely keeping them. So the next concealer that I have here is by NARS. This is the Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger. I have not used this one a lot, so this is something that I still need to use and continue on using. I don't know how I really feel about it. Like, it's good, but I think that it's definitely overhyped because I don't see what it's so great about it, but it's definitely a holy grail for so many people. Me personally, I like it, but I like it. Like, I like it, but it's not like, oh my goodness, I love it, I have to have it in my collection. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on using it and see if, you know, like, what's the big deal. Why does everybody love this concealer? But yeah, so I'm actually going to put it like right on top of the concealers just so I can use it more often and see what the great thing about it is. Yeah, this one is called the Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer, and this one is by Becca. This one right here, it's amazing. I love it so very much. This is like perfect for your everyday concealer, where you don't feel like it's so heavy that it doesn't match your everyday makeup. This is so amazing. You don't even have to set it, and if it does crease underneath your eyes, you can just tap it and the lines go, it just goes away, and it just looks super pretty all over again. So I do love this concealer. I just haven't purchased it because, as you can see, I have a lot of concealers that I need to work myself through. So before I repurchase this one, I need to work on the other concealers. But I am going to have to get rid of this one just because it's old. It's not working the same as it used to anymore. So I have to say goodbye to it. Alright, so the next concealer that I have here is pretty new in my collection, so this one is definitely staying. This one is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer, the self-setting one, and I'm still trying it, so I do not really have a 100% opinion on it. So far, the times that I've used it, it's really nice. It does not crease, it doesn't look cakey underneath my eyes, it doesn't become really drying or anything, but I'm still testing it, and I will be giving you my opinion very, very soon on it. Alright, so the next concealer that I have here is the MAC, and this one is the Pro Lone Wear Concealer in the shade NW25. This is amazing. I love it very much. This is always going to be a staple on my collection just because I use it, especially during the summertime, for underneath my eyes, or just mix it with my moisturizer and make it into a tinted moisturizer, and it gives me a super nice coverage. It evens out my skin tone really nicely, and I love this very much. It does not budge. It's so good, and this one will always be a favorite. So this one stays right there. All right, the next concealer that I don't use a lot, and it's because it is so bulky that I forget that I have this concealer in my collection. I actually have it along with my foundations, and this one is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I do have mine in the shade Golden Beige. Now this concealer is really good, but it doesn't really compare to my Shade Tape at all. The Tarte one is just so amazing, and this one, I thought that it was going to be the same, but it's really not, especially when people were like comparing it to. That is the reason why I decided to get it, just because I wanted to try something different than the Shade Tape and not bore you guys with my Tarte Shade Tape at all. This one right here still shows underneath my eyes like the darkness, or you know, if I have any dark circles. It does not really give me the coverage that I was expecting that it was going to give me. However, it's still a very good concealer. Once you set it with powder, it does give you that little extra oomph that you need. However, I don't think I will repurchase this one, but I am going to continue using it because it is not a bad concealer. It's just, to me, does not compare to the Shade Tape at all. So the next concealer that I have here is by Jouer. This one is in the shade Biscotti, and it is so good. I love this one for sure. It definitely is up there with my favorite concealers, and yeah, I'm going to keep this one. This is pretty new to my collection, so I'm definitely keeping it. All right, so here are all the concealers that I am keeping. This one, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I'll keep you guys posted whether I decide to return it or not. So let's see. Yay! So here are all the concealers that I'm going to be getting rid of. So yeah, I mean, not a lot, but hey, this is good for me. I didn't know I was gonna get rid of all of these. So yeah. All right, so now let's go ahead and go into the primer section. All right guys, so let's just grab. All right, so this one is the Pores No More's Luminizer Primer, and it is by the brand Dr. Brand. And this one right here, I have not used it that much. I know that we received it in the BoxyCharm, and I really haven't used it that much. I really should be using it, especially during this time of year that it's not super hot in Florida. So I am going to be keeping this one and just trying it and see how it actually works now. This one right here is by NYX. This is the Angel Veil. It is one of my favorite primers, and I will be keeping this one for sure. If you have not ever tried this primer and you are oily to combination, you need to try this one because it really does such a good job on keeping your makeup in place, and it does make it last longer. So it's really nice, and I really love it. I love it that it's in a squeezy tube. Should we talk about the Tatcha, the silk canvas? I don't think so. This one is definitely staying in my collection. I love this one so much. It just gives you a really nice smooth look to your skin before applying any foundation. I don't think my foundations last any longer, but it does give me a really nice canvas, as per the name, to apply my foundation on top of. So I love this one for sure. All right, so the next primer that I have here, it's a little sample that I got, and this one is the First Aid Beauty. This one really is like a gel consistent, and I don't think that it really does a good job on mattifying my skin. I remember using this one when I went out of town, but I really haven't touched it since because I don't remember being that wow by it. So I am going to pass this along or just get rid of it. This one is by Molly, and this is the Perfecting Prep Neutralizing Primer. This one smells really strong. I don't think it really does a good job, so this one is definitely going. This one is a Wrinkle Resist Plus Pore Minimizer kind of primer by the brand DDF, and I don't recall using this one at all, so I'm just going to pass it along and see if somebody wants to actually try it. So bye. All right, so this one is a Makeup Forever primer. I decided to get just the little one just to see how it actually works. This one is the mattifying one. I'm almost done with it, so once the summer comes in, I'm going to definitely be using this one, and I'll probably just end up using it all until it's done because it is, as you can see, it's almost done. Alright, so I do have this Cover FX, and this one is a blurring primer. I don't remember using this one much, so I don't recall how it actually performs. So I am going to keep it a little bit longer in my collection to see how this one performs, if it's any better than comparing to my favorite one, which is the Makeup Forever one. If I don't see any difference with this one, I will be passing it along. So I have another one by Makeup Forever. This one is the Smoothing Primer. This one is actually a repurchase because I did use the little one that I purchased, like the same size as the other one. I end up purchasing the big size because I loved it that much. This one is definitely a favorite primer for sure, especially during the summertime. It is amazing. I love it very much. I haven't used it a lot just because I've been really stuck on the Canvas Silk by Tatcha, but I am going to start using this one again just because I remember loving this one. So yeah, so this is not a primer, but this is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion, and I do use this one for underneath my foundation but not as a primer. So I am going to move it to my kind of liquidy glowy steps that I have in my drawer, so forget about this one. So the next primer that I have here is the Too Faced Hangover Primer. This one, it is so good. I love the scent of it. It smells like coconuts, and I love it so very much, especially during the time that my skin is a little bit dehydrated or just a little bit drying, either from the summer, from being out in the sun, or going to the beach. This one is just so good. It feels so refreshing to my skin, and of course during this time of the year where the temperature is not as hot, this one is so good, and I love this one a lot, so I am keeping it. Another favorite is this one. This one is from Smashbox, the Photo Finish Pore Minimizer primer, and this primer is just so good. I'm almost done with it. I decided to get just a little one because I know that I do have other primers and I'm not going to use it all. So from now on, I think I'm just going to be buying like the small versions of the primer if it's available, just because I know that it does take such a long time to use a primer, because you really need a small amount of this product to just cover, you know, your worry areas, which is usually for me around my nose, my mouth, and between my brows. You know, and that is the only places that I really use these type of primers on my face. So for sure I'm going to be getting this one again once I finish it up, but I'm going to continue on getting the mini size of it. Alright, so I do have this primer by Wet n Wild. It was not so good. I don't remember using it but maybe once or twice. I don't think that it does a really good job on pore filling or blurring or anything like that. So that is usually what I look in a primer, and this one I don't think it did that, so I am going to pass it along. So this one here is by L'Oreal, and this one is the Magic Lumi. This one is so good just to add to the outer part of my face, definitely not in my nose area, you know, between my brows or like in my T-zone area, but this one to add a little bit of dewiness and glowiness to the high points of your cheeks before foundation works amazing. So I do like this one for specific areas. So yeah. All right, so these three right here are by the same brand, which is Touch and Soul. This one is definitely the more hydrating version of it. I don't know where they actually sell it because I've tried to look it up at Sephora and they don't, but I think they have it straight on their website. So if you are more on the drier side, you're definitely going to like this one. It does feel really nourishing and moisturizing to your skin. This one is to really target more specific areas in your face, like if you have lines underneath your eyes, or if you have any kind of wrinkles or anything like that, that is more for that specific area. So this one is really nice, and I do think that they actually carry this one at Sephora. So these two right here are really good just for those targeting areas. So, or if you are more on the drier side, this one is definitely going to be a good one. So these are staying with me. The packaging is just so adorable. So these are pretty new to my collection, so I am going to be keeping them. So this one right here, you've probably already seen it. This is one that came in BoxyCharm, but I've been talking about this one for a very long time. This is the No Problem by Touch and Soul, and this is so good. It does do a good job on blurring your pores, filling them in, really gives you a really nice canvas. It really works on my skin when it's super oily or during this time of the year, which is pretty normal. So I do like this one a lot, and that one lives like right there. So this one right here by NYX is called the Honeydew. This one, I don't know, guys. I mean, I feel like I'm putting a serum on, not really a primer. It's more like a skincare kind of situation, and not so much a primer, because I don't think and I don't see that it does anything to my skin, but it does give me a really nice glowy effect to it. I am going to keep it because I really do like the way it makes my skin feels. But when it comes to like pore filling, it definitely doesn't do any of that. All right, this one is a little sample that I have from Hourglass, and this is the Veil Primer. This is so good. I only use it like on my special events, or if I'm going out on a date with my husband or something, that's when I'm going to be using this one. Otherwise, I'm not using it, just because it is so good. It makes you look a little blue in the beginning, but it does work. So this one is the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. As you can see, I haven't really used it that much. I need to try this one, just because I know at one point everybody was really talking about this one and how much they liked it. So I am going to try it and see if it's actually worth the price. Of course, this is just a little sample that I got. And I'm so happy that I got the sample and that I have to like purchase the full size, because it is super pricey. So yeah. So the next primer that I have here is by Milk Makeup, and this one I used it so much last year. I have stop. Of course, as you can see, I have used a lot of it, and this one is pretty good. I like it. You just need to warm it up on your hands first before you start applying it to your skin, because unfortunately I feel like it does do a little bit of a tagging to my skin. It does really a good job on blurring your pores and just giving you a really nice canvas to apply your foundation. And I have tried it with different foundations and I do like this one, so this one is definitely staying. I used it a lot last year and I remember liking it a lot, so I am going to be keeping it. Alright guys, so I did not do so well with the primers. Sorry about that, but I am going to be getting rid of 4 primers. Of course, 3 little samples and 1 full size, and it is Wet n Wild. It doesn't really count, I know, but that is the best that I can do. I just really like my primers. And I knew that that was gonna happen. So yeah, sorry, but not sorry. Alright guys, so yeah, so here are the things that I am going to be getting rid of. Of course, not a lot, but you know, something is something. Now I know that I have all the things that I really want to try, and I will keep you posted on anything if I do get rid of anything else. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.